So we really cannot talk about dreaming and following dreams, making our dreams come true, without talking about fear. Fear. It's a four-letter word. As I like to sometimes call it, I've probably heard it called this somewhere, but we can say, fuck everything and run, right? That's what fear often does to us. Super cool when we're being chased by a cougar or a dog or, something that feels very scary. Our fight and flight activation physiologically is all meant to keep us safe. However, it is not meant to just make us do nothing. But fear has kind of fooled us. There's this like veil of safety that we believe. I think some of that was pulled away from us over the pandemic and some other things that have happened in the last few years, of this veil of safety that I think a lot of us have lived under. The other thing fear does is it doesn't allow us to actually kind of live a life. We get stuck into these ruts, right? Fear will keep us in a job that we don't like. Because why? Because it provides our health care. If we don't have health care, then what do we do? So the fear of not having health care will keep us in a job. We often stop there, right? Well, if I quit this job, then I lose my health care. And if we don't have health care and someone gets sick, then they could die. And if they die, and then they can't work, and then we're not going to have any money, and we're going to be living in a van down by the river. I had a woman in one of my support groups that I used to do, and she would say that was her narrative of everything. Every single scenario ended with her living in a van down by the river. Fear. Fear continued to tell her if she made a different decision, if she made a riskier decision, if she did something that went against maybe what society or other moms or other people said, she was going to end up in a van down by the river. Where we stop short is we typically don't say, okay, yeah, that could happen. If all of that happened, all of those, like, everything has to get, and then I'm down. A lot of nothing, no help, right? Like, okay. But what we didn't do was talk through what is the opposite of that. Okay, maybe I make that choice and I get a new job, and that means I lose my health care. Okay, well, I did get it's going to be an increase in my pay. What does private healthcare look like? What does buying it off the exchange look like? What does saving money for healthcare expenses for a year look like without having health insurance potentially? There are things that can be done, but when we get into fear and then we get activated in our amygdala, and again, that problem solving and that ability to be creative has left the building, then it makes it really hard for us to see, well, what else could happen besides living in a van down by the river? When we've lost the creativity, we're not thinking, okay, well, there could be these other things, and yeah, that could happen, but there could also be something else that happens that could be really beautiful and life-changing, and I will never know unless I try. And if we get real about it, is the try going to put us in the van down by the river? Probably not. And when we say it out loud, that helps us too. Like the other day I had someone say, God, when I say it out loud, I can hear how ridiculous it sounds, right? He said, I'm sure, then I have to ask for, like, I need like 10 minutes to go on a walk. And he's like, and now that I say that out loud though, like, I'm sure she would just say yes. Like the fact that it's been in his head and that's created this fear. If I ask for 10 minutes to get out of the house, to get away from the family, my partner is going to be upset with me. And then they're upset with me. And that's going to make on and on and on into the negative. But when he verbalized it out loud to me, he was like, of course she would say yes, right? And if she didn't, maybe she would have a reason or a counteroffer or something in there. It doesn't mean she's just going to say, no, how dare you, and be upset. Right? And if she does, do you have some tools that you can use to better handle a situation in which that's coming up? And to take it even further, if you're in a relationship and you ask for 10 minutes to go on a walk around the block and you were told no every single time and then made to feel bad about it, well, then fear is stopping you from doing something different in that relationship, whether it is seeking out some support or getting out of it. Because that's not okay. So fear gets in the way of so much. It has crushed dreams all over the place. So many of us might be living more intentional, authentic, fearless lives if we did not let fear block us. Fear has crushed dreams. It has fooled us, right? It's like a total liar too. Like it rationalizes in our brains why we can't do something. Negative self-talk will come in. I was reading Lovey Jones's book. Lovey Jones, we'll call her. Lovey. And she was saying she was asked to do this TED Talk, and she was like so nervous and like tried to get out of it 4 different ways. Oh, well, I can't because of this. Oh, well, I can't because of that. And every time they were able to accommodate her rationale for not being able to do it. Well, I have to be on a plane. Okay, that's fine. We'll put you on first. Well, I can't be there for this because of that. Well, that's fine. Don't worry about it. We'll get you when you need you. They wanted her. They believed in her more than she believed in herself. And when she got over it and did the thing, she killed it. She did amazing. It's not that she stopped being afraid. It's that she did it anyway. We're not going to just stop being afraid to go after our dreams. And if we're with a partner who lives in fear too, right? So I'm already afraid of going after my dream. And then if my partner is afraid that if I go after my dream, somehow that means I'm going to leave him, well, then he's a co-conspirator in not letting my dream come. He's a co-conspirator in my fear. He will be in my fear. He'll be highlighting my fear. He'll be hitting my fears. He'll be fully agreeing with me when I talk about the fears that are going to be getting in the way. So fear has just infested it. I don't want to go after my dreams. My partner's afraid of me going after my dreams. Because of course, then I'm going to leave him, right? In his mind. In my mind, if I'm going to go after my dream, I'm going to fail. I'm going to be an embarrassment. I'm going to lose all credibility. We're going to lose all of our money. So we're coming at it from different places. And so we can't even support each other in our fears because our fears are different. And if we are not communicating about it, it is okay for my husband to tell me he is afraid of me going after something because what it may mean to him, but also acknowledge that isn't why I shouldn't do it. He's owning his shit and that he's going to work on it. And that is okay. Because as he talks through it, I'm sure he will realize it is ridiculous. And he will get from me, reminders as me following my dream has nothing to do with me wanting to leave you. Fear just took over. So fear, which is funny, because if you think about this, I'm using it in my little kid brain of afraid of attics, afraid of dark, afraid of the things that are, the people under the staircase, right? People in the attic. So if we're afraid of going in our attic, right, in our own home, think about that. Because what's up there? It's dark, it's scary, it's dusty. Reminders of who we were might be in there. Reminders of what we could have been might be up there. We don't want to even go up there. It's a constant reminder that we haven't lived out those dreams that at one point we for sure thought we were going to. So sometimes we don't even want to visit the addict. We don't even want to revisit, because it's painful. Because we look at it as a personal failure because we didn't get something done, instead of having compassion and saying, what else is the context here? And because I didn't do it, 10 years ago, does that mean I can't do it now? So we have to be fearless to even enter into that space where those dreams maybe once were, or maybe are still sitting, but are covered up. Because you can't do that anymore. Because now you have a family and you have, other people to care for. And now your dreams came true. Look, I gave you this. You got this. You have the kids and you have the family and you should be happy. That's what everyone keeps telling us. So we don't think that we need to go back into that attic to look up those dreams. And then if we do, then again, we feel bad. Like, oh, are we not grateful enough? Are we not happy enough? Isn't this what we wanted? You shouldn't ask for anything more. Especially women. If you get all the dust off that dream, and it maybe isn't somehow a little bit different than motherhood or wifeness. What does society tell you? How can you go after that dream? You have children now. That would be selfish. So again, shame, what other people say, wrap it up, and we put it away. So then under a lot of our conflicts is that dream that we have wrapped up, we have shoved down. And because we're not talking about it, because fear again has created this negativity, if we share it, we're not sharing it. But what we're missing out is often a crux of some of these conflicts. And our partner, of course, isn't going to know, because it is we have to pull it out, right? But under this conflict, what is the dream? It takes some of us a really long time to pull that apart and actually figure out what that is, because we have done such an incredible job of wrapping that dream up and putting it up in the attic. And there's nothing scarier than revisiting that and having to look at that and having to say, oh, well, I didn't do that. And so I can either say, well, that was a dream then, and maybe I redo it now because it doesn't make as much sense now. How do I reform that? Or how do I say, you know what, that was a different time in my life, and now I'm going to create new dreams? Because sometimes the old dreams, we hold on to them even though we don't want to look at them. And we're so upset with ourselves or resentful of somebody else that dream didn't happen, that we are unable to even let go of it to say, well, maybe there's a whole different dream that I need to start dreaming up. So the bottom line is that fucking asshole fear, that lying piece of shit, it's so ingrained in us. And my goal here isn't to say I'm going to take that away. You're going to feel afraid. My hope is that you will do it anyway, that you will talk about the dream, that you will go up into the attic, that you will dust it off, that you will look at it. And then you will decide if that's what you still want to do and how to make it happen. And if not, how to let it go and create something anew. So I want you guys to think of, what are your fears, right? What would happen if you followed your dreams, old dreams, new dreams? Can you also visualize the positive side of the fear, right? So if I do this and I fail and I end up in a van down by the river, well, what could happen if I succeeded? Sometimes we're afraid of that success. What does success mean? Does that change my life? Am I going to be expected to do more? Am I afraid of being successful? So take some time with this, because this one's really important. There are a lot of blocks. There are a lot of things that get in the way of us being able to even identify our dreams. to talk about them, to understand that what is underneath them, what are the dreams within our conflict. If we don't know what they are and we don't talk about them, then our conflict will look like something else. And we are not actually addressing the issue. So we need to get in here, guys. We need to get into what are the fears and how do we visualize the other side and how do we just do it even when we're afraid. And we do it best when we're together and supporting each other. All right. Good luck.